Welcome Trinidad and Tobago to our News 4 report, a product of the Government Information Services Limited. I'm Nicola Barito. Let's take a look at the headlines. A website has been launched aimed at providing information on security updates and local crime statistics. The Ministry of Public Administration will host a Public Service Week of activities from June 18th to the 23rd. And the Minister of Transport is calling for answers on the purchase of 4 water taxis. Thank you for joining us. In an attempt to keep citizens abreast of the latest happenings at the Police Service Commission, a website has been launched aimed at providing information on security updates and local crime statistics. Launching the website, Chairman of the PSC, Professor Ramesh Deosaran, highlighted that the website was designed with the public in mind.
Police officers and citizens now have greater access to the Police Service Commission through its new website. The webpage will give the public access to the latest security updates and crime statistics through reports and news releases posted on the PSC's site. Chairman of the Police Service Commission, Professor Ramesh Deosaran, in launching the site, says the new webpage will assist in bridging the communication gap between citizens and the PSC, and urge the public to utilize the site to its fullest.
Every week, the Police Service Commission and its Secretariat intend to publish about 10 questions regarding police response to citizens' reports, public safety, white-collar crime, drug trafficking, and a range of concerns which the public may have over crime, the police, and public safety.
Feature speaker at the launch of the website, President of the Senate, the Honorable Timothy Hamill-Smith, noted that through the site, citizens can now hold the PSC accountable.
I am optimistic that this website will come in handy to make information readily available in a timely and accurate manner. It will also keep the public up to date and equipped to make informed contributions to enable the PSC to fulfill its constitutional mandate. The website will not only open up the Commission, but it will also make it more responsive, efficient, and accountable.
Meanwhile, in officially launching the website, Public Administration Minister Carolyn Sipasad Bechan added that the move to launch the website was one towards making information more accessible to all.
If you have a website that caters only to your needs and not to the needs of those who visit your site, you will have failed with the opportunity to make an impact and to get feedback. This is very important. Let me say that this is in keeping with our move towards a citizen-centric public service. That is to say that when we design systems, the objective is not to make it easier for those of us who have to provide the service, but to make it easier and more accessible to those citizens who must use this service.
Persons looking to visit the site can do so at www.policeservicecommission.org.tt. Kimberly Ramkalawan, News 4.
The Ministry of Public Administration will host a Public Service Week of activities from June 18th to the 23rd. The activities will kick off with a 5K walk-run themed One Walk, One Public Service. Over 1,700 participants have registered from more than 25 ministries and agencies. The race will start at the food court of the Queen's Park Savannah opposite Memorial Park at 4 p.m. The event will bring together all departments and divisions of government to celebrate the 50th anniversary as one public service. In addition, an open house will take place on the Brian Lara Promenade between Henry Street and Frederick Street from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. from June 18th to the 23rd. The open house will move to the city of San Fernando on the 20th as it sets up at the Harris Promenade from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. And in commemoration of World Public Service Day on June 23rd, the open house at the Brian Lara Promenade will feature a government-wide career fair showcasing all the job opportunities available in government. Help and advice will be available for anyone who is job hunting or wants to change jobs. The week of activities will end with an entertainment segment. Persons are being urged that nomination for meritorious public servants is June 18th. Nomination forms are available at www.mpa.gov.tt and can be submitted online or downloaded and sent to the MPA through TT Connect service centers in St. James, Princestown, Arima, Chaguanas, Tunapuna, and Bonacourt, Tobago. Completed forms can be brought into the head office of the Ministry of Public Administration, located at the Nallis Building in Port of Spain. More after the break. Stay with us.
Honoring and respecting the elderly begins with you and me. And in the event of a disaster, your support before, during, and after will be critical to their well-being. Build a support team where each member will have a specific task. Your team must include someone who is within easy reach of the elderly person. Make an evacuation plan and practice your plan. Stock up on special caregiving items such as incontinence items, cleaning and sanitizing supplies. Have on hand a minimum of 2 weeks supply of all essential medications. In the event of a disaster, accessing medication may become difficult. Keep testing and insulin supplies and do not require refrigeration for diabetics. Secure all medical supplies in a clean, waterproof, easy-to-carry container. Keep a list of medication, caregiving instruction, doctors' names, and contact information. In case an elderly person is relocated to a shelter, this information is vital to their continued care. Dehydration is a serious health problem for older adults. Store at least 1 gallon per person per day. Store at least 3 days worth. Consider special dietary needs when stocking up on food supplies. Safeguard important documents and provide an ID bracelet or necklace to persons with special needs, such as persons with Alzheimer's disease. Remember, disaster readiness and preparedness begins with you and me.
A message from the Ministry of National Security, Office of Disaster Preparedness and Management.
Thank you for staying with us. Minister of Transport, Senator the Honorable Devant Maharaj is calling for answers on the purchase of 4 water taxis. The ships were bought in 2006 at a cost of around $61 million, with an additional $72 billion being spent on them, a total of $133 million. However, the vessels have only been able to fetch a combined total of $6 million when they were sold recently. Minister Maharaj gave the media a tour of the vessels this week. Gregory McBurney was there and files this report.
Water leaks in the hull, engine problems, and engine room trouble. These are just a few of the issues which have forced this government to sell 4 water taxis purchased by the previous administration in 2006. Speaking to members of the media, Sharon Taylor, Director of the Water Taxi Service, and Transport Minister Devant Maharaj outlined the problems of running the service with boats which have an estimated yearly operational cost of $50 million. Minister Maharaj says the decision to buy the 4 boats remains a mystery. He says his predecessor owes the nation some answers for putting the lives of citizens at risk.
Passengers who were using the service at that point in time were perhaps at risk because of the quality of the vessels that we bought. We bought foreign use vessels that had serious problems in terms of engine, hull damage and so on. So who knows what could have happened on the high seas when people were sitting down early in the morning reading a newspaper and drinking a coffee. They could have been stuck in the Gulf of Paria for the rest of the day, above or below the water. We don't know. That is what happens when you buy vessels for use. This is like if then Minister Imboud went to the bamboo to buy foreign use things and put it on the road. We have to have an answer. We demand an answer from former Minister of Transport Imboud as to why he engaged in this foreign use enterprise that cost us millions and millions of dollars.
Despite the financial burden placed on the government by the water taxi service, Minister Maharaj assures citizens that the service will continue. Minister Maharaj says a section of the population depends on the service and to discontinue it will be unfair. However, he explains that income must be generated to offset expenditure. In order to do this, a number of ideas are being considered, including a possible $5 price hike. The minister insists that while no decision has been made yet, some creative new ways must be found to close the gap between expenditure and revenues.
The fare hike question looked at a $20 one way. That has been the questionnaire has been collected, and they are collating the data before arriving at the decision. We have not decided to raise it, so don't misinterpret what I'm saying. The other areas are looking at utilizing various spaces in the water taxi currently for advertising on the at the terminal areas and so on, to see what areas we could generate advertising by trying to entice people with various products and so on. Also having DVD screens on inside the water taxi, where we could also have additional forms of advertisements, developing some premium services for different events is also being explored. I know they're also looking at having a special charter from Trinidad to Venezuela. That was also being explored.
Despite all the issues surrounding the boats being sold, Ms. Taylor assured the safety of the water taxi service has not been compromised. She says the other boats are still very safe on the water. Ms. Taylor added citizens needn't worry, as all vessels operated by the service are insured, and as such, passengers are also insured. Gregory McBurney, News 4.
The Piarco International Airport is now better prepared in the event of an aviation disaster. This after the full-scale emergency disaster drill exercise held at the airport this week was deemed a success. Acting General Manager of the Airport Authority, Mr. Dayanand Burju, made the pronouncement while addressing reporters after the drill.
I'm coming from the Emergency Operations Center, or the EOC, and based on what I've seen there, I would pronounce this morning's event a resounding success. Inevitably, there are learnings to be had from an exercise such as this, but all in all, I would say it was a resounding success.
The Trinidad and Tobago Fire, Police and Ambulance Services were all part of the exercise, which took place at the South Terminal of the airport. The purpose of the drill was to measure readiness in the event of an aviation disaster. The simulated disaster included putting out a fire on board an airplane which crash-landed and the subsequent treatment of survivors and casualties among the plane's passengers. The skeleton of an old airplane was used as a model for the drill. Despite the success, however, Mr. Burju admits that there is indeed room for improvement in the airport's ability to handle a similar real-life situation.
One of the reasons to have an exercise such as this is to see where there are areas where we can improve. And yes, inevitably, there will be areas that we will identify, and that's part of the success of a venture such as this.
Mr. Burju also told reporters that the coordination by all the services ensured that the drill was a success. For now, travelers and frequent flyers can rest easy, knowing that if any unfortunate disaster were to strike at the Piarco International Airport, they can count on a quick response from all responding agencies.
As far as I'm aware, and based on what I saw, we had a response in an appropriate time frame for all elements of the exercise this morning. Now, it was a multi-layered and multifaceted exercise that involved both police and fire services, and then we would have had the response involving a number of different agencies in terms of the ambulance response, in terms of the helicopter response as well.
Gregory McBurney, News 4.
News 4 continues after the break. Stay with us.
It's like no other place on earth. Paria Springs and rainforests that sing, and the blue seas and skies. But what makes Trinidad and Tobago really special is our people. Our fathers and mothers, sisters and brothers. We're aunts and uncles, neighbors and cousins, and we are officers of a new police service as well. A new service of the 21st century, the police service of tomorrow.
Welcome back. The popularity of the sport of gymnastics is rapidly growing in Trinidad and Tobago, and the public will have the ideal opportunity to see this nation's best as well as some of the region's outstanding talents at the upcoming National Invitational Gymnastics Championship, which was launched this week. Wayne Cunningham has the details.
As the national governing body for the sport of gymnastics, the Trinidad and Tobago Gymnastics Federation is charged with many responsibilities under the discipline. Mr. Ricardo Lushu, president of the TTGF, outlines his federation's mandate.
Gymnastics is the foundation of all sports. and TTGF is committed to promoting and developing gymnastics throughout Trinidad and Tobago. Our mission is to educate our coaches, increase our recreational programs, and showcase the talented gymnasts of this country to the world. We would like to create opportunities for all children, regardless of circumstances, to achieve their full potential in the sport.
The assistance from government agencies and personnel has gone a long way in the development of the Federation, according to Mr. Lushu.
Firstly, I would like to personally thank Mr. Anthony Creed and Mr. Colin Board and their staff at the Sport Company for their support and advice during our transitional phase. As a new NGB to the Sport Company, we are learning how they do business as we teach them how we do business, or the business of the gymnastics.
The 18th edition of the championship will be held on the 16th and 17th of June, and gymnastics fans will get a chance to see Canadian-born Marissa Dick, the nation's first elite female gymnast, as well as others.
I would like to see all of you come out and support our young, talented, aspiring gymnasts at the National Championships this weekend. I believe that you will all be pleasantly surprised at the level of gymnastics we have attained here. Also in Trinidad for the National Championships, he's not here with us today, he's coming in on Thursday night, is Mr. William Albert, our senior men's elite gymnast. He'll be coming off his first year at the University of Iowa.
Marissa Dick is of Trinbagonian parentage, and the 15-year-old is elated to represent this country.
Good afternoon. I'm really excited and honored to be representing Trinidad, a country which my mom was born in, and it's going to be a really good experience to see what kind of gymnastics there is and to represent something that means a lot to me.
Marissa's campaign is complemented by the addition of her coach, who has some impressive credentials.
My name is Sovidu Sherban. I'm a gymnastics coach coming from Romania. I was coaching the Romanian junior national team for 3 years between 2003 and 2005. 2005 I came in Canada, where I was pretty successful, if I can say that, having a senior national athlete that won the Canadian Championship. And now I'm very luckiest on having Marissa Dick like my athlete. She's a junior athlete, and she's going to compete for the Trinidad and Tobago Federation this weekend at their nationals, and next weekend in Colombia on Pan American Championship.
On the 16th and 17th of June, go out to the Woodbrook Youth Center and take in some gymnastics. Wayne Cunningham, News 4 Sports.
When we come back, fulfilling the promise.
We are reporting from communities across the country. People are calling Nalis Libraries their library. Tell me, why is Nalis your library?
My library is where I can have fun learning.
My library is helping me earn better grades with online research resources.
My library is my gateway to the world of information.
My library is providing access to the differently abled. As a visually impaired person, I can envision limitless possibilities.
My library is making my world truly worldwide with free internet access.
My library is helping me keep an eye on my health with access to the virtual health library via the Nalis website.
Nalis is my library.
In our special feature, Fulfilling the Promise, we highlight the initiatives and achievements of the government over its 2 years in office. At News 4, we've joined in that effort, and each day in our news package, we feature one of those highlights from the long and impressive list of milestones over these 24 months. In this story, we look at Trinidad and Tobago, the best kept secret. Trinidad and Tobago, the best kept secret? Well, that was possible maybe some time ago. But today, the Ministry of Tourism is on a drive. Tourism policy development, awareness, creating and encouraging growth in the sector. And the best kept secret in the world? A secret no more.
The tourism mandate for Trinidad and Tobago, as you are aware, for many years, Trinidad and Tobago main economy input was from gas and oil and downstream industries. Under the People's Partnership Administration, which came into government on the 24th of last year, there's a sort of economic paradigm shift, I like to call it, whereby there's a diversification of the economy away from petroleum and energy and downstream energy. While we will continue to produce those areas and monetize it, we are being asked now to have alternative types of economic activity, and tourism is one of the main planks on that diversification.
Sun, sea, sand, and of course carnival. Now, we've got all of the above, but that's not what Trinidad and Tobago is all about. And the ministry has focused on different aspects of tourism: ecotourism, cultural tourism, sports tourism, and community tourism.
The Paramin Community Group, the president and a lot of his members are here with us this morning to look at developing this area so that it could not only create a beautiful destination for tourists, but also community businesses, the people of the village. And there are many ideas coming forth already. People talking about cuisine, people talking about tour guiding, people talking about rental of equipment, and several ideas already begin to come forward to us.
The expansion of our tourism industry, how is this to be accomplished? And how is tourism to be used to diversify our economy? I'm here on the trail to the Rio Seco waterfalls. Now, I have no shoes on because I have to find a way to get to the waterfalls. Not sure how we're going to accomplish that. But the bottom line is, community tourism. This is what it's all about. And this is one way of expanding the tourism industry here in Trinidad and Tobago. So let's take a walk.
Community tourism is very big, and the reason why it's very big and why we are emphasizing community tourism, we want to sort of transform the thinking of Trinidadians. For so long, so many of our people believe, I guess it came from our history, we believe service was servitude, and it's something we kind of shy away from. But we want them to realize that service is something that you can do and become very wealthy of. You can make a good living, you can make money, and that is through tourism. And in our community tourism drive, what we are doing is encouraging the community to partner with us. For instance, when we go into a community, take for instance, let me give you a for instance, Blanchishes is an area of exquisite beauty, if you may put it that way. The Marion River is not like it. The big wood bridge across that river is something else. We also have turtle nesting up there, and it is one of the few places in Trinidad and Tobago where the freshwater river flows into the sea.
We've been away from this beautiful country for over 28 years. I live in Boston, and every time I come home, I'm amazed at the new places I see and the places I discover. And what I've noticed about my fellow Trinidadians and Tobagonians, sometimes we're scared to venture away from places that we know. My last couple of trips, I've traveled east, west, north, and south. There's some beautiful places. You know, so it's really up to you to go out and explore.
Well, that's how we wrap up this edition of our News 4 Report, a product of the Government Information Services Limited. I'm Nicola Barreto. Thank you for joining us.